You know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know how I feel. You know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know how I feel. You know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
3, 4, 5. Okay, let's do it. Okay, sweet. Hey, y'all. That's not exactly. Oh, I know what I did wrong. I forgot to put my backlights on. There we go. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Happy Thursday. Let me grab my chair. Sweet. Looking a little bright, I can tell already. So we'll bring that down. Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Monday night. I am pretty stoked to be here. There's Tara in the background and in the little corner there. This is I've had a pretty good day, actually. My new semester started today. Thank God nothing was required. I'm not exactly looking forward to this. I'm a horrible student, but we'll see. But I really want to give it like a new effort, and so in some ways it feels kind of like a New Year promise or some kind of like commitment to being better, or not better, just of advancing, of going somewhere. So anyway, thank you for bearing with me the last 2 classes on the jams. Some people said they wrote and said they really liked the midweek jams, and hey, Anastasia. Hey, Jennifer. Maggie, sweet. Carla, Casey, you're showing up a lot lately. Thank you. Lindsay, sweet. Jackie, as always, I really appreciate the updates when everything is working out. One thing you guys can help me with is just continue to do. If the sound is off, if the picture gets weirder than usual, it's not great because I live in the country and I have horrible internet. This is really the best I can do. If you're watching this on replay, as in not live right now, check out the HD version. The HD version I'm actually really proud of. I wish you guys could. I wish I could stream it in the quality of the HD version, but I just don't have the internet to do that. If you are watching me on Facebook right now, sweet, Luis is here. So if you are watching me on Facebook, hop over to YouTube. It is much better quality. The video is better. The sound is better. It never gets interrupted. It's just nice. Facebook takes it down the moment I play anything that their algorithm recognizes, and they're pretty restrictive about it. So tonight, we're going to be, I wanted to do an old school class, and I'll be honest with you guys, I'm trying to figure out what's a code word that I can send to you guys for old school class. Because what old school class means, that tonight we're actually going to do are going to do old school stuff. But what I really mean, hey Autumn, how are you? What I really mean with old school is I want to get back to just improving classes every now and then. I know that the internet wants a theme. I know that they want to know what's going on, but a big part of my teaching used to be jamming with the class, like vibing, being like truly in flow. So if you guys can help me think of a code word for that. Tonight we actually are doing old school stuff, but it's going to have an old school feel because I don't know exactly what we want to do, but I definitely want to stay on track. And we're not going to be doing all on body or off body, so we'll be trying to bounce between these. The first couple of exercises are just going to be old school favorites of mine. All right, so let's just jump into it. I'm going to be playing, the music tonight is going to be coming out of my iTunes, which means that sometimes the music is a little bit older than I like, but it's also music that I have a lot of experience with. So, okay. Huh. Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense. Go. Okay, cool. There we go. All right. Okay, I usually do this blindfolded, but basically if you haven't done this way with us before, what we're doing, that's a little dark. you haven't done sway before, this is our free flow movement time. And despite my bro appearance, I actually have a lot of hippie leanings. And I say that affectionately. One of the concepts I really loved from when I studied Quakerism was the idea that ultimate love was invisible. Not just to the eyes, but to all the senses. And the only way we noticed it was from the echo or the ripples of its being. And so in my hoop practice, I've always loved the idea of being available, to feeling the ripples of ultimate love. Not the waves of it, but the much more subtle, much more soothing ripples of it. Audible breath in. Quakers also, I learned to believe that your soul is like a drop of rain of that ultimate love, and that it wants to return back to it, like a drop of rain making its way all the way back to the sky. Audible breath in. So when I allow my body to move improvisationally, however goofy it may look, however boring I may think it to be, I'm opening myself up to the ripples of my essence, to its motivations, to its desires. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. You can imagine that your inner guide is just beneath your heart, just behind it. Not in it, but close to it. Audible breath in. Okay. All right. All right. So, yeah. Let's get this guy up here. Okay, sweet. So, for those of you that don't know, I was a religious studies major before I was an art major. I actually come from Quaker history, but I would never preach a religion. I like to talk about these belief systems because I think they offer something, whether you completely abide by them or not. Okay, let's. All right, I think this is going to be a good one. All right, so for our first old Schoolin exercise, and I sort of intentionally. Oh. Huh. Oh, duh. Okay, there we go. Sorry, y'all. Ran for the wrong camera. Okay, so I intentionally sort of picked a sway song that kind of kicks, or has a little bit more aggressive beat than some of the ones that I normally play. Because for our first exercise, we are going to use samurai as a technique for opening up our movement and our flow. And I'm going to give you lots of room to play with whatever you think that means to you. But essentially, it's using grip. So let me just make sure that I don't leave anybody that's here for the first time, or maybe. Huh. That's weird. What is that? Okay, anyway. So you could smear and play with folds. You can use the hoop, like if you're in more of a chill mode, you can use the hoop to stretch. Tara teaches gyrokinesis and gyrotonic, and they work a lot with circles. And she's talked about the crossover of motion. And right now what I'm doing is I'm using my hoop and the shape of it to sort of help me feel stretches and whatever. Tracing, so when I release a grip, one hand and go into the other one. Isolations are done that way. And then finally, before I press play, what I'd like you to think about is eventually, once you maybe warm up to it a moment, I do want you to work on moving the legs. It's really good to keep our legs super strong, right? And one way to keep them super strong is to bounce or get low, whatever. It doesn't really require, I think anybody can find a flow with that. Okay, let's go ahead and this song, if you're watching on Facebook, we're about to get kicked off. Actually, I've never done this before, but I'm going to skip that one because I realized the song beneath it. What? I think the song beneath it was sort of, it might be better for us. Here we go. on your own, of course. But when in doubt, let's say you weren't feeling this song and you're asked to do samurai, you can always just go in on your technique. I find it really helpful, and actually sometimes that pulls me into liking the song. These are hops, samurai. Ooh. That my body works, if I get my heart rate up and it stays up, the feeling that I get after the movement session is over is better than any drug. Because it's like a high that I feel without any consequence. And so in my hoop practice, movement practice, I do like to push myself into some exertion so I can feel that high, so I can feel that really clear-headedness, that confidence, that appreciation. Okay, let's see. Not yet. All right, that's coming. Okay. All right, sweet. I hope you guys are having fun. We are. I think we are. Okay, so we're going to do kind of an old school warm-up type exercise, but that can be done as a full-fledged guy. And what we're going to do is we're going to play with what we call horizontal rolling. It's kind of a bad name. And it's sort of funny, but so this is since this is the Monday class and I get to be weird here. One of the sort of really teachable story or teaching stories of the hoop path is when Anea learns to she learns embodiment by going into a big lake. And from that story in the Maidan teaching, your hoop is kind of known as, or you think of yourself sometimes as in water or in air or both, like with one above and one below. And so I have started thinking of this, and this will probably show you like how country I am, but I've really started thinking about this movement kind of more like skipping stones. I saw something the other day on the skipping stone championship. This is like when you throw a rock really hard and it skips across the water. And I've been thinking about sort of that idea of you wanting the hoop to sort of skim and skip as you move it around. And then there's a drill that we do, and if you're new to me, I'd really like you to learn this, and you want to keep teaching or taking from me, I really recommend you learn this because it's super helpful. I'll show you the bird's eye here, might help a little bit. Okay, so this is the movement, and I'm passing the hoop from one hand to the other hand. I'm not going to stay here and teach too long, guys. Don't kill the momentum. But what I want you to see is how the more I do it, the more I can play with, well, I just realized I'm hunching, so I'm stepping up there. But do you see how my shoulders are coming back and changing positions and moving that way? And what's helping me make that switch, and what I want to get across to you guys, is that there's an internal twist that happens, right? And it's like your core twist, and that's what makes your hoop so fast, right? And when you start to figure that out, it's like a little secret. And when you start to figure that out, it's almost like you have so much momentum on the hoop, it's scary, and you really can break things, and you will, right? And if I want to go upstairs with this, I'm coming to here, and then I bring it to here. Tara's doing a good job over there. And then what's stopping it is this second point of contact on my arm, right? And I don't even need grip to do this. And I'm going to start using that twist, and watch how quickly my hoop, starts to flatten out, just sort of slice through. And I can just pass around the head there. I don't have very good flexibility, so it's actually easier for me to toss the hoop to the other hand. But for most normal people, I don't think you have to. You can just sort of wait on it with the other hand to get it all the way around there. All right, let's bring some music on. And we're going to play with horizontal rolling, and I won't talk so much. Broke the rule and started shoulder moving, but I'm not going to do that. We're doing this. So this action that when I'm hitting my body, when I'm doing it on purpose, that's called a knock. And there's these things called knock reverses, and this is me using knock breaks or knock reverses. And you can do a lot of cool things with that knock, and I can do sticky breaks. A sticky break is when you keep the hoop on your hand through both sides of the break. Right? These aren't, these are pretty easy when you're rolling, but a little bit harder. That's a sticky break. And sticky breaks, if you haven't done them up here at the chest, they're awesome for creating, see how stretched out I am? I'm doing a sticky break, a break over there, break over here, break over there. When I'm saying old school, this is an old school hoop path thing that we used to do back when there were no moves. Nice, Tara's got a good thing going there. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, so you can see how, Tara's sort of using both her hands. She's using sort of everything. She's got you can see her feet are moving all the way at the end, ankles, and I don't want to mess up her up by describing what she's doing, but that's kind of what I'm doing. Now she's got her hands at a pretty wide distance, so that gives her a lot of control. Where her hands are right now are called the corners. Her hands are at the corners of the hoop, and if you're a beginner, that's the control place. Okay. Sweet. What'd you think of that one? Tara liked that song. You like the song or the technique or both? Okay, sweet. Okay. All right, 1 second. Grab some water for you guys. Okay. I don't want to screw up the class, but I think I'm going to do a song that I'm pretty positive is going to get us kicked off of Facebook, if we're already on it. Okay. There we go. Okay. So we're going to move to the waist. We're going to do Wouldn't Be Hoop Half without. Oh, sweet, Claire. We're gonna move to the waist, all right? Because we're gonna hit everything. This is old school class. So everybody on the waist for me right now. Super short setup. So right now, your body is warmed up, I would imagine, but it might not be warmed up for core hooping yet, or to core hooping. And one of the things I really encourage in people is if you like core hooping, if you like especially the benefits of it, like the way it strengthens your back and does all that for you, to allow yourself like the hoop to need you, like not like with a K, like to allow the, like you imagine you're clay and the hoop or the, you know, the sculptor's hands on you, or, you know, you're being shaped, but basically like not so much like the water over a rock analogy, but instead like you're becoming warmer, right? You're becoming like easier to move, easier to shape over time. And then once you feel that in like maybe 30 or 40 seconds, then reverse it. If you're watching on a Monday night, it's a big deal. We really hoop in both currents. I just believe in it so much. It changed my life. And so I started, you know, I'm right-handed, but I started catching things with my left hand. Okay, so this is the song that's going to get us kicked off, but we're going to work on some waist hooping right now. Okay, no, there's nobody around right now. And what I want you to do is to try to make it look like you're dancing. Okay, this is it's a super old school technique. And if you hate this song, doesn't matter, right? You just want to look like you're not the cop at the party, right? So I can. Now we're going to free up and let ourselves take the hoop wherever we want to on body. So you can keep it on the waist if you like that. You can bring it up to the shoulders. Bring it back, don't act like that. D4L and K-Rare got snacks. Ash Dizzle, Ash Low, Ash Moose Like Man and Fable. If you're into blindfolds, I really recommend blindfold core hooping, especially warm up. Especially for warm up. Made them say they laugh at told them do it like me. Rock harder DJs in the LOD. Side to side, snap your fingers, do it like me, baby. Lean and rock from side to side, snap your fingers, do it like me, baby. Stop spinning on things, but I think I can. I'ma lean one time, I'ma pop my hand, I'ma do it on the floor. Do it so long till my legs get sore. See this girl in front of me, she rocking her hips and moving her knee. Oh shit, there she goes, she dancing all fast, looking like Fable. I was just playing, don't really think so. Get that host, don't I want no more. She said so, I said no. Baby, I'm gone off too much drove. Pop one pill and I pop two more. Now I'm really geeked up on that flow. I'ma lean with it, with stacks with it. People are the best ever did it. Baby, lean and rock from side to side. Snap your fingers, do it like me, baby. Lean and rock from side to side. Snap your fingers, do it like me, baby. Oh Lord, check this out right here. D4L put it down best this year. Keep the club crunk, come we keep it so trill. Poppin' big bottles, spend $100 bill. Finish line, shot a 2-3 well pill. Late on the night, I'ma see what the deal. Yeah, I know you wanna get with this here. The way you shake that ass, tryna keep a player near. But I'ma just lean left to the right. On the dance floor, do my dance all night. Looking so cool, I ain't worried about no fight. I'm cool 2D, I was a pussy nigga Mike. We got them motherfucking tools on sight. You better check a shout and try to get right. Cause Mookie Bang Kid, you feeling so nice. They ain't shit, nigga. Take flight. Baby, lean and rock from side to side. Snap your fingers, do it like me. Happy Monday, by the way. Happy Monday. Rock from side to side. Snap your fingers, do it
this side, snap your fingers, do it like me, baby. Lean and rock from side to side, snap your fingers, do it like me, baby.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So I hope you guys are. Usually, if there's no comments, it means nobody's here or everybody's having a good time. So I'm gonna optimistically assume. Okay. All right. So we're going to go keep an old school in, and we're going to do paddles and breaks and talk a little bit about those and do those for a whole exercise. The best way to get good at paddles and breaks is just to do them constantly. There's not trying to be the old man that yells at clouds. Oh, sweet, Carla. I don't want to be the old man that yells at clouds, but some people I don't think, fully understand what a paddle is. And so I just want to make sure this is, no, I don't. Okay, so I'm here. Okay, so what a paddle is, or what a break is anytime I break the momentum of the hoop. I don't actually have to reverse it. I can just break it. So like this is a two-handed break that doesn't change direction, right? Answer to a trivia question, right? So a lot of people think of breaks is like they got to change direction. I don't. This is a samurai break. See, I didn't change direction with it, but I did break it. I stopped the momentum. I broke the momentum, right? Okay, then a reverse, of course, is when I do a break, but then I just allow it to circle me at least once. Then I've just done a reverse, right? So this is a series of breaks. And these are pretty easy to do. Most people get these first. And then if you haven't done them before, a series of reverses can actually be a little trickier because you have to get really good at starting and stopping your shoulder flow, right? But see how I'm letting it go all the way at least one time around me before I stop it? So this is a series of breaks. The hoop is not crossing across me. This would be a series of shoulder reverses where I'm going down, right? And then lastly, and paddles are almost always done at the shoulders by most hoopers, but hoopers seem to think that this is there seems to be some people that think that this is breaks and paddles. This is just breaks. What a paddle is when you push the hoop somehow, inside, outside, but you push it along its way. You paddle it along its way, right? And so these are paddles. I'm pushing the hoop with my hand, right? A lift is a type of paddle, really, right? And if I want to do these at the waist, I can just duck my arms in, and those are paddles, okay? So let's jump in. Yeah. I'm going to show you a little bit of a bird's eye, just so you can sort of see different ways and variations. If you need inspo, if you need it. If you'll notice, if you're new, if you're watching for the first time, I'm twisting. This is all coming back around, right? I'm twisting right now, and that's what's helping me pull these brakes off. I'm not staying flat like this so much. That wants to walk the hoop. I'm turning, I'm twisting. That internal twist we were working on, off body is here on body. Since this is essentially our advanced class, play with your paddles. You know, you can change up the types of contact that you make with the paddle. And you can extend it, right? So if I'm in my paddle, I can push and then turn with it, and I just go into a nice stall. This is such an easy move. I don't know if people have done it before, but it can be fun to sort of hold the hoop, you know, to duck your arm into the current this way, and then just try to break like this. Well, of course, I'm not doing it too well right now. Okay. I forgot how upbeat hoop path music was back in the day. How are you doing? Okay, cool. What was I gonna? Where was I gonna take us next? I forgot. Yeah, no, I was gonna. I had a. Oh shucks. Yeah, we're gonna tone it down right now. Okay, let's. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what we can do. Well, let's. Okay, sweet, good. Okay, all right. So what we're gonna do? Let's do some. We're gonna go super old school to kind of warm us down, but it's still gonna be kind of upbeat because I'm digging the detox I'm getting right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 2 birds as an exercise, and all this means is that for the most part it's waist tubing, but you can do anything you want to. And you just focus on moving the hands. And if you feel totally stupid, you don't know like what to do, you can literally just like run through the numbers. But all we're doing right now is just teaching the body how to do multiple things at the same time. So what it would normally look like if I've got the hoop on my waist is I'm going to, you know, if you're like me and you're staring at a giant TV, you can kind of see what your hands are doing, or if you have a mirror, but you don't really have to. Right? But what I'm doing is I'm just working on form right now with my hands, right? Doesn't matter really how it looks because I'm more interested in the like complicated math my body is figuring out and all the things that are, all those type of like, you know, positive energies that are being released. All right, one of my favorite songs. I'm pretty sure we're already kicked off of Facebook. So. Oh, I guess we're not. Hey, Michelle. Okay, so we're gonna go into 2 birds. Now you can take the hoop anywhere. All this means is that you are focused on your hands for a whole song. I'm not gonna talk that much, but you're gonna be focused on your hands the whole song. And try to do core hooping, but you can take it, actually, whatever you want. You can take it off the core, but just focus on your hands, okay?
Thrill, soaring through lives, hold my breath until the evil all dies and change skies. And when I talk to you, I'ma look in your eyes and blow bomb chronic smoke in your face like surprise. Cause this right here could very well be the last time that you ever hear from me. But if the beat don't stop and we party and pass through, remember, live long, love life and be free. Cause when fights break out, girls scream and dust settles. I'm just another tatted late bloomer from out the ghetto, surrounded by turntables, drums, guitars, pedals, microphones, amps, mixes, EQs, and peak levels. Angels, devils, copycats, and hypocrites. Jackasses, know-it-alls, road dogs, and dipshits. Nut riders, bitches, they claiming they all different. All of this is why I'm getting lifted. Bill and Jezebel and Tom, come on, all in a row. Some live for silver and gold, while others just need somewhere to go. In this rough old life of good and bad, trying to free their soul. Up, and away we go.
Yeah. With all the violence being heard these days, who needs pictures? Truth is being stretched like limbs on Reed Richards. See, I personify car winds and tree switches and verbally feed the masses like Jesus with 3 fishes. The scene switches when people are not feeling me, faced with hostility, bottles and rocks still with me, even in auxiliary mode. The truth will be told, koofies and goals, bring the new from the old. I'm true to my soul despite all the obstacles, melt them like popsicles. Let these imposters know we do the impossible, hopping on top, making your trunk knock like funk doc, connecting hip-hop and punk rock in one shot. I'm just another rapper alive, surviving tour bus crashes with drivers who couldn't drive, connivers who wouldn't strive, ain't blessed with strong speech. My songs teach, broadcasted live from Long Beach.
I'm incentive, but I feel wonder what I go on in the island. And the situation, me not know if you say, but all I know say them matter about religion and I kill one another. Me say each and every day, well them burning churches, killing babies, fear bad news in the pages. It's like we going through a different stages and phases.
With all the wonders of the world, Jah create them all for us to see. Good, bad, difference, and the ugly. Life goes on and on. Ooh, yeah, oh. And there's no limit to the music. Rhythm, rhyme, and reason. You can get with it. With the kick and the thick.
Okay. All right, perfect. We're just about out of time. And
It's like
I kind of like this one. Actually, yeah, we're going to go into that. That's sort of a weird song, but it's a good one for drilling. Thank you guys so much. We're going to move into a free hoop now. Actually, I meant to go there. Move into a free hoop now. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you had fun tonight. Let me know if you have any advice on what I could call a code word class. I appreciate that. Those of you watching on replay, I really appreciate your comments and your messages. A lot of you messaged me instead of comment, but it's totally cool. And I love hearing about it, your experience, and knowing that I'm connecting to somebody beyond is great. So thank you. Stay around. We are going to do I'm going to do a closing shavasana. So we'll do this song and maybe squeeze one more, and then I'll do a closing shavasana if you want to stick around for it. Okay, I think maybe we'll just go ahead and do the, what do you think? Go ahead and do the closing now? Does that sound good? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do our closing meditation. Now you could stretch. You can, if you've done a Shavasana before, a lot of times you lay down on your back while you do it. But whatever feels good to you. And I'll lower the lights, Rex. Yeah. Chill out. Okay, let's see if this is gonna work. That's gonna work. Okay. All right, then we're gonna try something else. That's not gonna go. Okay, what's this? Okay. Okay. Rex thinks it's playtime because we're on his level. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. I want you to imagine that you can be both a mirror and a window. I want you to imagine that you can reflect, but that you can also be transparent. I want you to imagine that you can become a mirror and that you can angle your mirror towards whatever you believe to be ultimate love. That you can pitch your mirror toward whatever you consider ultimate love. That you can bounce its light back to the source. Audible breath in. And even though it would feel so good to make your mirror a window and absorb all of that love, I ask that you keep it a mirror so that you can bounce that light, so that you can redirect it from the source of ultimate love to your mirror to someone that you love. Now I want you to imagine bouncing it to everyone you've ever met. And if it hurts too bad to bounce it to everyone you've ever met, then bounce it to most of them. Beam of light from that source of ultimate love, bouncing off of you and into the hearts of everyone you've met, or almost everyone. Audible breath in. Now I want you to imagine beaming that light to everyone you haven't met. A much bigger group, but perhaps just as worthy. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. I think I was talking quicker so much because my heart is breaking because of war. I so don't agree with the rest of my humankind about the necessity of war. I've never seen one work out right. And so my heart is like breaking for anyone that is scared in Afghanistan tonight. It hurts so bad. No matter what you feel about why we're there are so many scared people right now, scared girls. I don't know how to help except to try and beam it